Hi guys, and welcome to Tuesday, April 21st, Stronger Together workout. Your workout for today is 2 rounds of 20 dumbbell push presses and 50 kettlebell swings. So we're going to go over the warm-up for today, and for the warm-up and the entire workout today, I have Coach Jenna to help me. All right, so she will demonstrate the movements for us today. So your warm-up for today, you're going to do 2 rounds. You're going to start with 30 seconds of mountain climbers. You have 2 options in your mountain climbers. Jenna's showing you the more challenging option where you're trying to get your foot all the way up to your hand. Or you can do just knees to chest here, right? Bringing that knee in just to the chest, all right? But you'll do that for 30 seconds. So after you have finished your mountain climbers, you're gonna go into bootstrappers. You will do a total of 6 bootstrappers. So a bootstrapper looks like this. Jenna's hands, if you notice, are on the tops of her feet, and she descends into a full squat with her arms pressing out against her knees to get a nice deeper stretch. From there, she extends her legs until the knees are locked out to get a hamstring stretch at the top. So if you cannot extend your knees all the way, right, when your hands are on the feet, we prefer that you bring your hands off of your feet and just get a good hamstring stretch, and then bring them back onto your feet and descend to your next bootstrapper, okay? So you will do a total of 6 of those. After your bootstrappers, you will go into a 45-second glute bridge. You can either do a hold here, where you're just lifting the hips off of the ground and driving the feet into the floor, or you can cycle just up and down here. So when you do this, guys, try not to collapse all the way at the bottom. If you noticed, she just completely rested at the bottom. You want to try to maintain tension here, okay? And again, she's driving the knees out as she lifts the hips off the ground. This is so inappropriate. After that, you're going to do 12 goblet squats. So if you notice, she has her dumbbell in a front rack position, her feet are shoulder width, and she's descending into a front squat, driving the elbows up throughout the entire movement, okay? Make sure that you're sending your hips back and down, and those heels are staying down on the floor the entire time. You will do 12 of those. After your goblet squats, you're gonna do a 30-second hold in a Spiderman stretch on each leg. So she does a nice long lunge, and if you notice, this heel is down. You wanna make sure that you keep this heel down, and she's really driving the knee out, okay? You can descend to your elbows if you have the mobility here to do so, but if not, just stay on the hands. The next part of the warm-up, we're gonna start you prepping for the tempo squats that we have today in our strength section. So the first thing that we're gonna do is 10 air squats, but with a 5-second lowering phase and then a 5-second rise, okay? So for your air squats, your feet are shoulder width, right? Your core is braced, and your hands would go up to block the sun. From here, when Jenna descends, she's gonna send her hips back and drive her knees out, and she's descending very, very slowly. When she reaches the bottom of the squat, she's gonna rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then back down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, 2, 3, 4, 5. After you've done your air squats, you're going to do 3 tempo squats as a goblet squat, or if you have 2 sets of 2 dumbbells, you could do obviously a front rack squat, okay? So from here, she's still gonna keep that lowering phase though of 5 seconds. So nice and slow in her descent, and then nice and slow in her rise for 5 seconds on each of those. So your first part of this workout today, the strength portion of this workout, is every 3 minutes for 3 sets, you will be doing 10 tempo front squats or goblet squats with a dumbbell or kettlebell. For your tempo squats, you have 2 options. You can do a front squat with 2 dumbbells, all right? So from here, with the front squat, she's going down 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up 2, 3, 4, 5. If you only have 1 dumbbell or a kettlebell, you will then do just a goblet squat, again for 10 reps, but with that same slow lowering phase of 5 seconds on the way down, and then a 5-second rise. Make sure that you're really paying attention to all of those mechanics of a squat when you're doing this. So really thinking about driving your knees out. Also really think about spreading the ground with your feet here, right? To really keep everything engaged. And then thinking as you descend too, another thing that you really want to think about is almost thinking about the knees coming up towards the chest, right? And then as you rise right here, think about your glutes squeezing and sending the hips forward, okay? So a no equipment option for this workout is to do single leg squats, all right? So for your single leg squats, you obviously are not going to do a 5-second lowering phase and a 5-second rise. You will just do 5 on each leg. If you are a badass like Jenna and can do an actual pistol without going to a raised seat, it would look like this. She goes down into that pistol and just drives right back up. Pistols are different than regular squats in that you want to be almost more rounded with your back, right? And leaning forward to keep your center of gravity over your leg, okay? If you want to work on your pistols, stand, then I highly recommend doing the pistols over the weighted squats. All right guys, so for your conditioning workout today, it is again 2 rounds of 20 push press and 50 kettlebell swings. So Jenna's already demonstrating the push press for you. So your feet are directly below your hips. When she dips down, she's driving her knees out. Her chest is vertical, and she is really thinking about keeping the weight in the midfoot, right? Trying not to go into her toes. From here, she drives out and lets the energy carry all the way through her shoulders and presses overhead with the dumbbells. Again, notice that her arms are close to her ears when she goes up into that press, okay? So you want to make sure that you keep it nice and close to the ears. Don't let the dumbbells drift away. As you get tired, it will be more likely that you're going to want to lean forward, and you need to fight that tendency and think about having your back against a wall here and staying as vertical as possible, okay? You can even have a friend, touch you from like way far away, COVID style. The second movement is kettlebell swings. You will do 50 of them. So in her kettlebell swings, if you notice, she gets set up, her back is nice and tight and flat when she comes down into that bottom position. And then she's driving the weight overhead from her legs. She's not pulling with her arms here, guys. If you cannot get fully overhead with this weight, you can just do a Russian swing to eye level like she's showing you here. All right, guys, you're gonna have a finisher before your cool down. It is 2 minutes of max rep V-ups. So you can break as needed here. For your V-ups, you're gonna start in fully extended, laying down on the floor, and from here she's going to drive up with her hands and try to touch her toes, all right? The goal is to not let the feet come all the way down to the ground. Now, if this is too challenging for you, you can go into tuck-ups where you bend the knees and just bring the knees into the chest, okay? That is another option, but you're gonna do as many as you possibly can in 2 minutes. I wanna see what numbers everybody hits. All right, so your cool down for today, you're going to start with downward dog, all right? Just to stretch out your hamstrings a little bit after all of those kettlebell swings and even stretching out the shoulders. So in your downward dog, you're trying to press the heels into the ground, drive the hips to the sky, and press your chest back towards your toes. All right, you will hold this for about 45 seconds, all right? From there, you'll step into a Spiderman stretch on each leg. So Spiderman stretch, we have that at the beginning, right? So you should already know this, but you're stepping out into that long lunge. You're keeping this heel down, and now you're really stretching, so I want you to go as low as you possibly can. You're gonna be probably more warmed up, so you could probably go lower than you could actually in the warm-up today. After that, you're gonna go into a pigeon stretch. So you're gonna set that leg in front of you, the back leg extends behind you, and you're gonna come all the way down to the ground, okay, if you can possibly do that. After that, you're gonna go into a happy puppy stretch. So you'll come to all fours, all right, just like in the tabletop position. From here, she's gonna drive forward, and I'm actually gonna have her send her hips more forward. Nope, there, that's what you want. You want your hips to be directly above your knee and driving the chest to the ground. After you've held happy puppy for a while, you can then send the hips back into child's pose. And if you want a little bit of a better stretch along your side here in your lats, you can walk one hand over and place the one hand on top of the other, and then walk your hands all the way back to the other side, place the other hand on top of this hand. And that is it. That is your workout for today. We missed you guys. I miss you so much. We're gonna go drink some White Claws for you now. Bye. Brian,
You want to be our special guest?
No, you sure?
Not with this hairdo.
Get Brian.